79-year-old Jerry Jones has done a lot in his lifetime, from building his Cowboys into one of the world's biggest sports franchises to becoming a multi-billionaire. But he is starting to act like a bratty, spoiled child at 79 years old. Despite being the leader and architect of the last golden era in Dallas Cowboys history and winning lots of Super Bowls in the 90s, his relationship with Jimmy Johnson and owner Jerry Jones has been rocky ever since. Jerry simply wants a yes man, shorter like when you're a kid and only want to hear yes to everything you ask for. Jimmy Johnson was the last coach who built a winning franchise from the ground up for Jerry. Following Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer, the last two coaches who won Super Bowls for the Cowboys, Jones has primarily hired coaches who won't challenge him, with the exception of Bill Parcells. And Parcells eventually got tired of Jones's meddling and bolted after a few years. Jones needs to be the strongest personality in the room and on this team. He indeed owns that crown, but at the detriment of winning. The spotlight in Dallas needs to be always firmly on Jerry Jones, and fans wonder why the Cowboys can't advance past the NFC divisional round of the playoffs. It's been said many times that Jones will do whatever it takes to win another Super Bowl. Hell, he said that a fair plenty of times himself. That statement is falser than a $3 bill. Jones won't do anything to win another ring because he hasn't. He won't step aside and let football people handle football matters. He's been a pretty good general manager during his time in the role, but even with all the talent they've had, Dallas simply can't get over the hump during the playoffs. Jerry needs to look at himself in the mirror and realize he is the problem. Mike McCarthy, as an offensive-minded coach, wasn't even allowed to pick his own offensive coordinator. Fans, to begin with, were not a big fan of the McCarthy hire anyway. But if you're going to hire someone, let them do their job. McCarthy brought in Mike Nolan as defensive coordinator his first year in Dallas and was then forced to fire him. Then, Jerry Jones brought in Quinn, which obviously worked out as the defense improved significantly. But overall, Jerry Jones needs to hand the reins over to Stephen Jones or someone younger who is better connected with the game of football. Someone who understands what it takes to get the Cowboys back to a Super Bowl. Some call it the curse of Jimmy Johnson. Others just add it to the list of egomaniacal moves made by Jerry Jones. Undoubtedly a corporate tycoon, world conqueror, and world-class control freak, Jones is notorious as a powerful owner and respected mogul who refuses to stop meddling in the day-to-day operations of the team. His inability to relinquish power to more capable men has kept the Cowboys in pretender status since Jones departed. All of these years later, the relationship between Johnson and Jones was reportedly healing. Last year, Jones even announced that Johnson would finally be inducted into the Cowboys Ring of Honor, and maybe that's another thing that has to happen in order for the Cowboys to get back to the Super Bowl. But first, Jones must give the power of football operations to somebody younger, smarter, and well connected with the game of football.